the constantly evolving shopping centre. When you look at like someone like a Westfield, boy, have they changed. And we are going to unpack a Northern Beaches icon, the Warringah Mall. Stay tuned.
It's my first time in the new studio. Woohoo!
How is it in there? What's it like? It's all green.
Look, if I was in a mental institution, it would probably look like something like this. It's so green.
So, if for anyone that doesn't know, we built the new studio, and it is all AstroTurf ceiling, floor, walls, AstroTurf.
Wall.
It's very you can actually headbutt it and it won't hurt your head.
It is a bit of fun, that's for sure.
So, Xanth, how are you?
Yeah, well, thank you. How are you going?
Good.
I like your little icon this morning, the historian.
Yeah, we're going to unpacking the history of Warringah Mall. Wow, has shopping changed or what?
Hasn't it changed? And even with everyone moving to online shopping as well, the whole landscape of shopping continues to evolve and has evolved so much.
And every couple of years, people talk about it not having faith in it. It's like, oh no, there's no real future in shopping centres anymore, and they just keep morphing into something. It's a bit like McDonald's. They just keep morphing into something bigger, better, faster, stronger, survive, thrive.
Well, yeah, you have to keep up with trends, offering something a little bit different, doing it differently, and keeping abreast of the market to know what your consumers really want, and how to capitalize on that.
And that's what they're definitely doing now. For people that don't know, Warringah Mall in Northern Beaches is one of the largest shopping centres in Australia. A massive land holding technically in an industrial estate. It serves almost 300,000 people. It serves over 100,000 homes. And you can't kill it.
Well, it's survived for a very long time and continues to evolve, to change, to grow, and just really produce some wonderful experiences for the store holders and for the customers as well, for the community.
Yeah, do you go, just out of interest, do you go regular? Not at all.
The Pilates studio that I go to, that I'm a regular at, is actually at Warringah Mall. So I'm there 3 or 4 times a week at least. So I would say yes, I'm a regular to Warringah Mall.
Oh wow! And is what's the thing you love about going there the most?
Well, I predominantly go there for Pilates, but when I'm there on the weekend, I'll grab a coffee. I might get my nails done and just chill out. It's easy. Everything is there in the one location. I don't need to go anywhere else. I can do my weekly shopping there after Pilates, grab a quick coffee, do whatever I need to do, and then head out. There's free parking. It's easy to get to, be it by car or by public transport. So it's just a very convenient location with everything at its doorstep.
Now, stepping back in history where it all started, Xanth, this little baby started in 1883. Yeah, you got it right. 1883. This little thing was called Brookvale House. 140 years ago.
Hey,
it was Brookvale House. Was built by Sydney Alexander Malcolm in 1883, and in 1961, guess it sold to the Hooker Investments.
Which is
that's
now
right,
LJ
Hooker. So they owned it, ran it, and off it went as a cool little block of land and development, and then it went to Warringah Mall. It's been Warringah Mall for just under 50 years now. So to give peeps an idea, I've put a little bit of history together for us as well to suss out.
You are a
So that
historian.
I am. So it just got bigger. It just sprawled. It sprawled, and it sprawled. David Jones and Myer were certainly anchor tenants. Now, hasn't that changed where these superstores are still around, but they're not the anchors that they used to be? It seems like everyone's busted out of the stores and had their own little thing now.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what continues to happen with stores like David Jones and Myer. You don't need those all-in-one big shopping centres like that anymore when you've got these specialty retailers off to the side. So it will be interesting to see the history of that next.
That's the trend, eh? So we're seeing everyone go individually into their own shops. Now, what's interesting is I was talking with some management of the group that owns Centre Group that owns Warringah Mall, and they were saying what's really interesting is the way people actually cluster. They actually use they farm a lot of data to work out who's to go where, and they work out there's particular science to credit card data where they can watch where a typical shopper will go when they finished shopping at the shaver shop, for instance. Yep. So what they'll do is they'll say, okay, well, typically that person that goes into the shaver shop, they will then go to this shop and they will then go to that shop. That's how they monitor habits. So, for instance, if you're going to go buy luggage, there will be a particular habit that you will follow in spending past luggage, and then they actually start to cluster shops in that fashion for shoppers based off that data.
Interesting. Yeah, building and mapping out customer journeys like that and strategically placing certain retailers in those specific cluster spots. It does make sense. I have always really wondered, how do you get a shop there? Do you just apply for it? Here's my lease. I want to rent this space, and away you go. I could be, I don't know, a shisha shop.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that's a no, because they've already got figured out in their minds what kinds of stores they want at each location.
Now that's nuts. It's so they're not going off trial and error. They know exactly what's going to work and what's not going to work in particular locations.
That's really good for the person renting the space, though. It's not set up for them to fail. It's set up for success.
Yep. Straight away. So out of interest, because sometimes you'll go through a precinct of a shopping centre and you go, I like that shop there, but it's an unusual mix, and that's often how they get that mix. It's a science.
Hey, well, I've just walked away learning something from this segment.
Data. Another one as well, Pitt Street Mall. In Pitt is the second highest shopping centre rent in the world.
In the world? Pitt Street Mall?
In the world, yep.
Wow.
Big data. So they're number one in the world.
Though?
Times Square.
Oh, that's surprising. I thought it would have, I didn't think that Australia would have come in second. I thought Harrods would have come in there, or somewhere in the UK.
Per square metre, I can't remember the iconic brand that was there. It was, I think it was a handbag brand that was on the corner there. They're paying $1.8 million for 100 metres squared.
A year?
A year.
Okay.
A year. Back to Warringah Mall.
Yes.
So there's a little fella there in the olden days. Started off with. She's a cutie. Started off with 50 shops.
Humble beginnings, and now it's grown. It's just exploded. Over 360 now.
Now that's just incredible. That's just incredible because that's a surplus to the shops that were there. It just grew and grew and grew and grew. What became important to us is transport, which is a little bit weird for some people in Sydney. They don't realise that our train line is a bus line and a very, very good one. The Beeline bus transport link only stops in 4 or 5 places on the northern beaches, so it doesn't stop regular. It's much faster than a regular bus, and it was a big win for Warringah Mall to get the that Beeline bus stopping in front of them. Yes, it's logical.
Absolutely.
But if you
Big
push that bus 300 metres up the road to the centre of Brookvale, the centre of the suburb, it makes a business flourish or makes a business die slowly. So that was a big win for Warringah Mall getting the Beeline bus there.
Yeah, just the transport to get to the mall, as I touched on earlier, is so easy. It really does wonders for the shopping centre itself and for the commuters getting there as well. So Warringah Mall did have recent redevelopments. What was it? 2015, 2016? $310 million was spent in that redevelopment. Oh, Mark's just gone. I can continue to waffle. That's fine. So $310 million is a lot of money, and with that did see upgrades both internally and externally to what it stands as now. You've got the beautiful cinema, indoor-outdoor spaces, as well as a selection of specialty retailer stores, lovely concierge, upgrade to parking as well, which is always a really big thing, parking at shopping centres and the ease of access there. Mark's just dropped out. It's just me now, little old me. So if you are tuning in, we are talking about the evolution of Warringah Mall, and we did have the historian Mark Novak joining us for a while there. He's unfortunately just dropped out. I might see if I can send him a link to join again. So we've gone through the humble beginnings of Warringah Mall, what started as 50 retailer stores. I was just getting used to talking all by myself. I had the spotlight for once.
God, what happened there, Sam?
I don't know. You just dropped out.
I just dropped out. So where were we? It sold. It was owned in its heyday by the FAI group. I think they had an involvement with AMP. Then it went to Centre Group. Then it went to Westfields, which was the Lowy family, and they spent $1.1 billion buying that and another asset. I think this asset was at the time about a $700 or $100 million asset.
Billion with a B.
$1 billion.
Billion. My brain can't fathom that amount of money. $1,000 is a lot to me. $1 billion is even more.
And now,
we have a comment that's just come in from Robbie Nemo, which you might be really good to answer this question. What are the property prices doing close to the mall? Well, the whole of Brookvale is about to go a complete facelift as well. So this is a very topical question.
Yeah, let's do the whole of Brookvale, what it's going to be, and then wrap out wrap out with the what it's going to do to property prices. But just quickly on its trade, Centre Group sold for $33 billion. The whole group, international group. And so that sort of starts to put that centre at probably about a $1.5 billion centre. If you look at what property prices have done, and then now they're spending, they've just spent $350 million. These guys, it's big money, this whole thing.
With future of an additional $225 million to spend down the track for further upgrades. I feel like not billion, million.
But
yeah,
it's high stakes. It's huge turnover. It's not dying. I was there for, I think it was on Tuesday. The money that gets spent on these refurbs of these shops, the place is immaculate. So it's a happy place.
Look, it is a really lovely, beautiful mall. Warringah Mall. If you haven't been there already, go for a friendly visit. But collectively around Brookvale, it's not just Warringah Mall that continues to evolve and change and provide up to the pulse services to the community. The whole of Brookvale is going in for a massive redevelopment.
It's a whopper. So, back on the back of what you were saying before, Anthony, Brookvale's had some changes within its zonings in the area, and its allowance with height, its allowance with units. Fortunately, the council's chosen to develop units closer to the Beeline bus stop, which has been a big win for Warringah Mall. Fortunately, their land has fallen into that catchment, and it's earmarked for about 1,300 units in Brookvale, and there's a high concentration of those 1,300s on the Warringah Mall site. So actually, I've been speaking with some of the consultants from the mall, from Centre Group, about it. It is very exciting to see what can be developed there, because now they've done it in the city. So they've joint ventured with large-scale residential and office developers, and they've on the site. So we're going to start seeing some development on the Pittwater Road site of Warringah Mall with residential in years to come.
That's exciting. And I suppose when you invest money like that into a suburb, that will help to inflate prices, modernize the suburb. More people, when you're spending money there, people want to live there, so to speak. So with regards to Robbie Nemo's question, what are property prices doing close to the mall? How would you answer that?
You know what? It just can't be a bad thing. It just can't be an adverse, a naughty, an unattractive thing. It's only going to be good. It's not a beach suburb, and it never was, and it never will be, and that's not what people are living there and are going to live there for. It's a practical suburb, very handy to the beach, very handy to transport, very handy to shops. So I think on the back of convenience, it's going to do really, really well, which is going to push through to pricing. So I think the answer is, if you are going to be buying in Brookvale, you will be making some nice money from the upshot of development, a bit like DY with Meriton being built.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
Boom.
Boom.
See you, everyone. That is
Bye.
What's happening at Warringah Mall from a real estate agent's perspective.
It's been a pleasure. See you soon.
$1 billion. A billion. See you, billionaires.